Competitive robotics is changing outcomes for students by giving them an opportunity to be celebrated for more than just athletics. I think there's always been a lot of students that wanted to do this, but there really wasn't an avenue. And as robotics gets more and more recognized through schools across the country and across the world, in fact, they have their path, they have their moment in the sun. I think that the path that we're on, as I expect in the next generation, high school robotics, high school STEM activities will just be as celebrated as much as athletics have been.
Probably the biggest skill I've learned is my programming abilities. I started robotics and I had no idea how to begin to code a robot, let alone make it move on its own and basically make decisions. And through the years, I've picked up 3 different coding languages, C++, Java, and Python, and all of which I've used to further my personal coding abilities and also programming excellence in robotics.
Competitive robotics allows students to really kind of show what they can do in a multitude of venues, in a multitude of ways. These students spend quite literally thousands of hours designing robots. The levels of calculus that some of these kids use to program these robots is absolutely phenomenal. They do this in their free time, on top of their homework, on top of their schoolwork, because they develop a passion for it.
Personally, seeing what this program has done for my son, really just to see him grow, not only academically, but also, like I said, the confidence, the teamwork. His communication skills, all of that is just part of what being a part of a robotics team involves, and each year I can just see the growth.
So 7 years ago, when I started refereeing, I would show up to a tournament and there was one little field and robots were falling apart at the very first match. It was a miracle if anyone scored. And that was at the beginning of the season, and at the end of the season, there were working robots, but it was still a little touch and go, especially at the beginning of the day. And now, 7 years in, I show up to the first tournament of the season in September, and almost all of the robots work. And they're all scoring, and they're all where robots would have been at the end of the season 7 years earlier. So earlier season, the robots are getting better, the kids are more confident. I'm having to explain fewer of the rules over and over every single year. It's grown so much.
In 6th grade, I'm the youngest in the program, and you see the leaders, the seniors and such, and you're like, wow, those kids are amazing. How could I ever be like that? And over the years, I've been able to grow and enhance my leadership abilities until now I am one of those leaders that I saw when I was in 6th grade. It's really, really crazy just to see how far I've come and just how amazing the experience has been along the way.
In the engineering field, like in jobs and everything, you see a lot of men, and now since there are so many more girls in robotics, in the future there's going to be a lot of women, which is super inspiring and awesome.
It's so inspiring when companies become involved in robotics and the students get to see this, because everybody's nervous about what's going to happen after they graduate from high school, what they're going to happen after they graduate from college. But when they see sponsors investing in these programs, they're like, they believe in what we're doing, and now they're inspired to go get those degrees or go get the training for the workforce, knowing that there's jobs out there. And I think it's a mutually beneficial relationship too, because these corporations are investing in students that they need to compete on the global scale. And so I think it's one of those relationships where if you were just doing this as a basement hobby, it'd be fun, but you would be pursuing other activities, and it may not inspire you to pursue these as a career. But because they see the incredible sponsors in the state of Tennessee investing in this, they're like, this is something that's more than just a fun hobby for me. This is my future. So when corporations invest in our programs, they're really investing in themselves. The students are having a chance to go to robotics competitions, compete, learn the skills that these employers are going to need in 5 to 10 years. So in a sense, these employers are actually investing in their own future growth.